Welcome, traveler, to Snarg's House of Sin.
Can feel the spark, coruscating power in the dead of night.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2 of Snarg's House of Sin. 2.5. I mean, we did a 1.5 middle episode, but yeah, this is the official second episode of Snarg's House of Sin. Don't give me that look, Linz. We did the AI episode.
I don't know how it gets 2.5.
See, I was gonna say you're about like 4.5 feet tall, so this is 2.5 men. Got it.
All right.
Wow.
So,
I am 5'1". Thank you very much. Okay.
our introductions are always off the hinges. Keep all this in, Lindsay. So yeah, welcome back to Snarg's House of Sin, featuring your two co-hosts, Izzetrix and Mr. Dogodude. Today we are visited with SpiritSquadMTG, aka Andre, aka Dre, the resident spirit expert in the Magic the Gathering community. How we doing, sir?
I'm chilling. What's good, y'all?
Chilling like a villain.
I'm in the middle of moving and it fucking sucks. I'm so tired of packing boxes.
Oh,
What you trying to build a clubhouse?
No, I just bought a house.
You know, Andre.
See, I just wanted to. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Was that a joke?
It was. I just wanted to make the blackest possible reference on Martin Luther King Day, and you, of course, did not get a direct Friday reference.
Of course, she didn't get it.
Not at all. Oh yes, ahaha. That was funny. Humor.
I will pretend I got it. Yes, I am with it. I am woke. We're cool. No, I actually have seen that. I haven't seen that movie in many, many years. The only reference I really get is the
movie?
damn, but that's it.
It's a movie, yeah.
It's a trilogy.
I don't watch movies.
Fair.
It is
It's
unfortunately
from
a
like the
trilogy.
mid-90s, and it is definitely a black cult classic, but it is now a classic. So if you simply missed it because you didn't grow up black and you never went back and watched it as an adult, so be it. I can't blame you for that.
I mean, I did in fact not grow up black. This is unfortunately very true.
Well, if Cat
We did
Williams
have
has his
salt
way,
and
we
pepper,
might
though,
get
in
a
the
fourth
house.
one.
So, like,
Salt
We'll
and
see.
pepper, is
garlic
that good
powder.
seasoning?
sometimes.
Andre, I do got to call you out
Sometimes
though.
hurts.
I do
I'm
got to
ready.
call you out though.
I'm ready to
Why
be
you-
called out.
Why you hating on my Cowboys, man? That was a
Because
rough
they're
loss for us.
fucking bad.
Listen.
See, I don't
we
feel
made it
bad
to the
about this because
playoffs.
I'm a Giants fan, and we are so
Oh.
ass that literally any shit talking we do is just punching up. So I don't have to feel bad about anything I say about the Cowboys. Fuck them and their mamas.
You know what? Honestly, I accept it now that I know you're a Giants fan because you're struggling. You're doing what you can, and I appreciate.
We're so
that.
bad. Something has to make us just not cry ourselves to sleep every Sunday night.
You know, honestly, as a Cowboys fan, I get it. I get it. Someday we'll make it out of round 1 of the playoffs in the next lifetime or so.
I
No.
too enjoy
Oh,
sports ball.
Lindsay, name 3 NFL teams.
Oh, that's easy. The
No.
Cowboys,
This one's
the
easy.
Giants, and the
Literally
Ravens.
just name an animal.
Okay.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, just name an animal. There's like 15
I guess I could-
named after animals. I'm sure you know at least half of those ones only.
I guess I could go the typical misogynist route and be like, Lindsay, you need to name every NFL player that's ever played ever, or you don't know anything about football.
There's no, the only sports person I can think of right now is Cal Ripken Jr.
That's
and
fair.
that's baseball.
It is
Mhm.
very good. So
Oh.
back to nerd stuff. Andre, I gotta know, as a
Yeah.
former, I don't even know how to classify us, but when I started out on the internet, I was all about one creature type as well. I used to be dogs, hence the name Dogodude.
Okay.
So why
got it.
spirits? How'd we get there?
So the reason I play spirits now is because I've accidentally been trying to play spirits the entire time I've played Magic without actually knowing that fact. When I very first started playing Magic, like little baby no facial hair Dre, so for you, Lindsay, 5 years ago, and I was playing this Slivers deck because Onslaught was brand new when I learned the rules. So I was playing a bunch of terrible slivers, some like 4 and 5 drops, but also a 2-drop called Quick Sliver that let you play all of your stuff as instants, and that was easily my favorite one in the deck. Because I could play some slivers at instant speed, I also went, oh cool, maybe I can put some counter spells in this and play my entire deck at flash speed. Well, fast forward to what, 15 or so years later after that fact, and Spirits is actually a deck. And now, instead of just, having just learned the rules, I'm playing tournament Magic. So I'm like, wait a minute, this deck is exactly the thing I wanted to be doing. And that was a modern deck at the time. So I'm like, all right, well, I can just play some bad counter spells and some decent spirits and cobble them together, because these are things I've been trying to do for 15 years anyway. And
Hell yeah.
my very first league that I ever played with it on Magic Online, I went 5-0, 10-0, actual flawless victory the entire time.
Jesus.
And then I'm just like, okay, so this is definitely the thing I've been trying to do this whole time, except now
Oops.
it's actually decent. And
Yeah.
fast forward to 5 years after that, Jesus Christ, this is 2024 now, 6 years after that fact, and I'm still playing and winning a lot with it.
Okay. So it's not that it was just like, hey, I really vibe with this theme. It was, I kick ass with this deck, and it's just kind of been the gravy train ever since.
Pretty much. It was just like, hey, this is the thing that I've accidentally been trying to play the
Huh.
entire time I play Magic, and now it just exists. So
That's fascinating.
fuck it, let's do the thing I've been wanting to do my entire adulthood, basically.
Hell yeah. So what
And
what
Innistrad blocks really helped get you
Oh, for sure,
more.
for sure.
Oh yeah, with spirits.
Like, oh god, yeah, like the Shadows over Innistrad block, yeah, like the first Innistrad block had, like, some stuff, like I think what Drugstore
Oh,
Captain,
Spell
Merlin
Queller.
Hunt. Spell Queller was Eldritch Moon, yeah.
Queller.
So like
That's
the
cool.
second Innistrad was super good for me, obviously, because we've got like Mausoleum Wanderer, Rattle Chain, Spell Queller, all of the playable cards, and it was just like a thing that clicked. So it made me very happy to continue doing it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on any of the tribes that I like to get a set that respects us.
Excuse me, sir. They're no longer tribes. They're all kindred cards now.
No,
I
hey,
was
you know
gonna
what?
say
You're
they're
right.
typal, they're not tribes.
You're right.
They're
Nope,
not
you're
even
both right.
typal anymore.
You're both right. Let me
We don't
check
use
my white
typal
privilege.
No, seriously, they've made it so that kindred is a word that exists within Magic, because typal, nobody knows what that means unless it's directly spelled out for you. But kindred, being a real word that people have used in English on purpose before,
Oh,
is
okay,
like,
sure.
okay, this is the thing that just makes more sense.
So
Yeah,
I
okay.
guess it's what it is. What it is now.
I got absolutely eviscerated on Twitter, X, whatever, about this.
Oh dear.
My understanding from all of the evisceration that I received is that kindred is what is printed on the cards. Typal is the slang term for decks that do that focus on one type of creature. Because I tried to make
I
the
don't
same
know.
argument. I looked up the actual errata, like changes to the card stuff, and it doesn't even mention typal. It just mentions kindred. And so everybody
Right.
kept jumping down my throat of saying, like, yes, that's what they're printing on the card, but that is not the word we are using. And I just, as a heterosexual bearded white man, I just threw my hands up and said, okay, you tell me what I'm supposed to say and I will say it. Like, I'm not fighting this battle at all.
That's fair. I'm just like, and obviously, like, the word tribal, seeing as I'm not like an indigenous person of any sort, I was just like, okay, whatever, I'm playing a tribal deck, and that's what I thought I was playing for years. And then, like you said, like, it changed over to typal, and I was like, I don't like the word typal, so I'll just say I'm playing a spirits deck.
That's what I've
Because
been
Yeah.
doing.
I don't have to say the word typal because I thought it was fucking stupid, but I also avoided the word tribal, so that was my compromise. And now that kindred exists, well, that's just like a thing that already people already say kindred. So it's like, okay, this is fine. Like, I can literally use the phrase kindred spirit as a meme because it's already a phrase that people use in English anyway. So
Oh, that's
like,
true.
life just works.
Oh my
Yeah, also, and
gosh.
kin is just such a much more badass word. Like, to be able to say I'm doing a rat kin deck, like, that sounds so cool.
And
Or the
person who
type.
lives near the Appalachian area, how do you feel about that?
The like using kin, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'll let him use it. It's fine. It's fine.
You'll let him? Oh, how gracious of you.
Yeah. You're
No,
welcome.
honestly, my official stance on this whole topic is that I don't actually care that much. And I know that sounds like very like privileged stance, but what I mean by that is that if a community of people has told me to stop using a word, it's so easy to not use that word that I don't care. Okay, if that's what you want, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's literally that simple. And also, as Magic players, the point that I kept trying to make is that if you just Google all the words that have changed since the game's beginning, it's like over 1,000 words has been changed since the beginning. So like, what is one more word? Why is it this big of a deal for us to change one more word? You know?
And if you ask me, it's not. And realistically, if you're going to be asking anybody, hey, let's go ahead and change the words that's used, maybe, if it's easy for somebody who's actually playing the deck and making money off of it to simply not use the word that was most closely associated with it, it should be a finger snap for everybody else to kind of take that up.
It's a
Right?
fantastic point.
That shouldn't be something that we're like. That's not a hill to die on.
But
And all of the
No.
hills to die on, that is not one.
But honestly,
That is not one of them.
this rolls right into our next topic because, the type of people that are getting the most upset about this word change are a very toxic group of people who probably have some other viewpoints we disagree with. And, I just kind of want to touch on how toxic this community can get sometimes. And I know you have very strong opinions
Oh,
on
this
that.
is going to be fun.
Hell yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Let's
Drop
go.
names. Let's destroy careers. Let's do it.
Well, I don't. Okay.
No, don't do any of that.
I'm-
Don't
don't
do
destroy-
it. Don't do any of that.
Well, I mean, maybe.
If they're bigots, call them out. But
Fair. I haven't been working on my Cat Williams impression, so like we're not going to get the full tea here.
I don't
such
know
a
who
great
Cat
interview.
Williams is.
Oh my
I
God.
don't do pop culture. I don't do movies. I don't do TV. I watch documentaries, Sir David Attenborough, and I'm blanking on names.
As quite
There's another
possibly the
guy.
only urban person on your Facebook, I feel like I have failed you.
Okay, we'll go back to your
Yes,
person
go
real
ahead.
quick. But growing up, right, I wasn't allowed to watch movies or TV shows or
Sure.
anything like that, right? And now that I'm kind of exploring this probably autismness of myself, I don't have the desire to change the media that I view. I'm
Okay.
very happy with just my solar systems, my dinosaurs, and my deep sea. That's it.
Sure.
That's all I need
And
to make me happy.
no, this is fair. This is fair. So Cat Williams is a comedian, and he's been doing like movies, TV, some music and stuff like that for the better part of 25, 30 years. And none of them are in genres that I would expect you to have watched without a cue from somebody else anyway. Like he is very, very black. You can edit this out if you want to later, but he is definitely okay with just saying the word nigga on all of his mediums because he's black and he can do that. And it's just one of his big things is that he was a pimp for some small part of his life before getting into comedy, like a literal pimp.
mm-hmm.
So he
Okay.
incorporates that into a lot of his comedy. And the role that you are probably most familiar with at all would be the character A Pimp Named Slickback from the Boondocks.
I have watched the Boondocks a little bit.
Believe
If you
you
get to
last
the
about 2
episode with a pimp
episodes.
named Slipback, that's Cat Williams.
No fucking
No.
shot. I think that's episode 3.
Yeah, my favorite.
I've watched a few. I've actually watched a few. I find it quite funny.
Ooh, okay. It is.
do
I
find it
love that
quite
in that
funny.
show they got Samuel L. Jackson to play a white dude. It's so fucking funny.
That's so good. Oh,
that
God,
show is
Um,
gold. I love it.
It is.
I don't remember the two little boys' names, but there's the one that has braids and there's one with the big fro.
Yes, Huey and Riley.
And the
Huey's
big
the one with the
fro
fro.
guy is-
Riley is the little ghetto child with the braids.
Who's the one with the fro?
Huey.
Huey. And he's more like philosophical and somber and like
Yes.
Yeah.
He's an
this
anime
is-
character.
this is the- and then
He-
yeah,
yes.
and then
Jesus
Riley
Christ, yes.
is gonna just
A
go
little niglet.
beat everybody up. Yeah. Well, I can't say that, but yeah.
But
You
I
know.
mean, Riley is ghetto as shit, and I absolutely love that little child. He's so good. So I would say
I love when he goes to war with Santa Claus.
Oh,
man,
yeah,
that-
dear,
that-
yeah, because he writes the note a couple of times. I saw that episode. That's
Yes.
good.
It is a good episode, yeah. But no, like Boondocks is absolutely batshit insane.
Yeah. So what we were
Ah.
saying though, before we had to educate Lindsay on who Cat Williams is,
Yes.
Sorry.
is that you are not in your full Cat Williams phase, but you have some things to say about the toxicity of the MTG community.
Yeah, and there's unfortunately quite a bit to address. And not all of it. I mean, yeah, sure, insert statement about being the black guy on MLK Day here, but nowhere near all of it's race related at all. And honestly, most of it really isn't. It just happens to be the case that there's not a lot of us, and it just sucks sometimes. And that's really as
Understandable.
far as that usually goes in our general direction. But as a whole, it is very true that the community is just literally 99.5% white dudes. And being as such, it's very intimidating and closed off to almost the entire rest of the world, at least here in America. Like, obviously, if you go to Japan, the community is not going to be 99% white dudes. But, like, here, it is, and it's honestly kind of obnoxious, and a lot of times because of it, just because some stuff gets very, I don't want to say gatekeepy because that's not the only problem, but
Right.
that is definitely part of it. I think it's a lot more that it is a good old boys club. And
Yeah.
a lot of the people who are part of the good old boys club see no reason to actively change that, which both makes the community look toxic and it actively stifles growth within the community itself too. So a lot of people will say every now and then, "Oh, Magic is dying. This game sucks. This game's terrible. Wizards is killing the game." But the community itself isn't actually trying to reach out, bring other people in, and make it more welcoming, more diverse, and simply more fun. All of that leads to an environment that just is, slated as and actually is very toxic as a whole.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, just look at the Ixalan set, which I have a lot of creator friends who culturally strongly related to the new Lost Caverns of Ixalan set, and
Mhm.
talking to some of them, it was so disheartening that the amount of backlash and toxicity from the typical crowds about the when they put out that statement about here's how you properly pronounce these names, and people were like,
Yes.
"Oh, wizards being woke," and it's like, since when is vocabulary woke? When is
Right.
somebody saying, "Hey, here are some words that you probably have never seen before. Here's how you say them." But like when you try to, or when they try to do things like that, where they try to include different cultures and stuff, they get such toxic reactions from it. It's like, yeah, no, I think you said it perfectly. It's a beautiful statement. Yeah, it's true.
I find it interesting with the Ixalan thing. They put out how to say the names, right?
Hmm.
They also taught us how to say the names for Kamigawa
Yes.
with much less backlash because
Because
Japanese
white people love
Anime
their
are
weeb
Japanese
shit.
culture.
are
I can finally
white.
pronounce
They
my
are
waifu.
above the what's that Family Guy meme? The check bags card.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
The
and it's got the
security
different
They're
cards where
on
it's
the
skin
like,
top
colors.
side of that
Yeah.
card.
yeah,
Well,
just
yeah,
like
I mean
whiten down, browning up.
that's a
Yeah.
no-brainer. White people love their Japanese culture. White people love
No, it's
Naruto.
true.
Like
It's
there's
true.
no getting around that.
No, you're not wrong, especially Rock Lee. But to be fair, I like Rock Lee too. But I was
Great
gonna
character.
say, like, it's really crazy though that people got a lot of backlash out of, well, sorry, dude bros, but people got a lot of backlash out of just saying names that are simply Spanish. That's it. All you had to do was shut the fuck up and learn how to pronounce some Spanish names. But saying Asmarana Minor Dyson Koldakar, oh, this is completely fine. I'll watch 2 whole YouTube videos on how to do this.
Oh,
So,
you just
like,
casually
what the
dropped that.
hell?
I am impressed.
Okay, I can't say that name, so
Okay,
But
fair.
but that's
But
but
like,
that's a great point. The amount of people that make it their
have
mission
taken the
in
time to
life
learn that.
to learn how to say that, but can't learn one card for Ixalan. It's
right,
insane.
it's insane. It
Yeah.
really is. And you're just like, why is one of these things so deserving of effort and the other is so, I guess, getting a bunch of vitriol, a bunch of backlash, a bunch of like really, really just fucked up comments on the internet. And we've seen this more than once too, not even with just names. Like you see everything that happened with like Sahili Rai, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. We've got this
Oh yeah.
entire character who's based on Indian culture, and she looks the part. She's like, a decent card in her own right. Like there was a whole Felidar Guardian combo around her, so she saw lots of play. The card was good, the art was good, the name isn't even that hard. You just look at the damn thing and you go, oh, that's clearly says Sahili. Like there's even 2 E's in there. It's not difficult. But why is there so much backlash for stuff like this? And then
Yeah.
you just kind of like fast forward it to a bunch of the other like, cultural adjacent stuff they did. Like when they went and banned a bunch of cards that they deemed to be a little bit too offensive offensive for Magic, like Jihad, Crusade, Invoke Prejudice, and all of those things. When people are like, oh, well, why can't I play Invoke Prejudice? I don't know, maybe because there's a fucking Klansman on the card? Like, what is wrong with you
Yeah.
people? Like, and
That was in air
Jesus
quotes, by the
Christ.
way, for our audio listeners. The "you people" was in air quotes.
That's right. It's
The air quotes were really middle fingers if it applies to you.
yeah. You can say you people to white people. It's fine. We deserve it.
No,
I was
dude,
gonna do it with eye contact.
I admin a the Facebook, one of the Facebook Magic Marketplace groups, right? And we
Mhm.
still get people trying to sell those banned cards. Like Invoke Prejudice is one that comes up a bunch, and we're like, no. I leave in my little response thing, no, you're not allowed to sell banned cards in our group. Go somewhere else. And then like 7
Good for you.
times out of we get another thing because it all of the posts have to be approved. So we get another post telling us that we're woke or we're racist against white people or we're something else or we're Nazis or something like that because we wouldn't let them sell the Invoke Prejudice card. It is insane. It's insane.
the old reverse racism bullshit.
Right?
Love it.
I'm over
Yeah.
here like, imagine being called a Nazi for not agreeing with the people who want like literal Nazi stuff. Like, just
Yeah.
do you guys read posts before you hit send? I know the answer is no, but like, what?
Listen though,
Yeah.
I have alt-right family members, so I experience this. I mean, I'm a white dude from the East Coast, from the northern East
Sure.
Coast. Of
I'm
course, parts of
positive
my
you have
family.
a racist ass Uncle Bob somewhere. Sure, it is what it is.
Most of them are. I'm the black sheep of the family, but like, so
The
I
African
experienced
American
this
sheep, if you don't
firsthand.
mind.
The the amount of times that I have heard Dave Chappelle called racist, when it's like, guys, you don't know how this word you're using works. And then I get called racist because I hate white people, and it's like, I mean, fair, but like,
It's like you're not
Yeah,
wrong, but
it's
I'm still not
crazy.
racist.
like supporting
Right.
non-white people doesn't mean I hate white people. Like,
Right.
and it definitely doesn't make me racist, but it's that alt-right wing sector of the country, and unfortunately I think it has, well, I don't want to say infiltrated the game. It's been here since the start. I think it's just becoming, as we get more diverse voices in the community, it's starting to shed spotlights on the ones that have been here for a while who don't see any problem with Invoke Prejudice and get mad when you do.
No, you're
Oh!
right. And go ahead.
No. It's that. Wasn't it me and you on that one Twitter post? The
That
guy
is not a short list.
Wait, an argument on Twitter? This is new.
Where we both yelled at somebody.
Oh no! It
Oh.
was the one where he was like, "Oh yeah, women feel safe in my communities or whatever," and then like 3 posts down, he's
As
like,
in-
"Yeah, but not trans women." And okay, well then women don't feel safe in your
That's
local game store, but that's slightly different,
right.
off topic, but like same topic because of
No,
the
that's still on topic.
spotlight thing.
Yeah.
And
I
that'll
got
actually
there.
segue into where I'm going
ADHD.
next anyway, actually. No, we're good.
Sure.
We're good because that's a good segue. So I was going to kind of circle back to the whole good old boys club statement because a lot of that doesn't just go to racist things. A lot of that does go to misogyny, transphobia, and all this other stuff. Like, I don't know if I'm sure you do, Lindsay. I don't know how familiar you are with tournament magic, but about 11 years ago, a trans woman called Feline Longmore, she won a
Mhm.
big ass legacy tournament, Star City Open with
With
High
fish.
Tide, which
High
I'm
tide
sorry?
fish. Yep. Yeah. With
No,
fish.
not
with
even
high tide.
fish, not even fish. No, it was just High Tide and combo, which is way, way harder to play than fish. I play fish. Like, haha, kindred deck. But anyway, so she wins this open with High Tide, which is not only super complicated to pilot, but also just like bad. The deck sucks. But she won this multiple thousands of dollar tournament with it, and nowhere in the Twitch chats did you see, oh, congratulations. Oh shit, she took it down with this deck. That's ass. I'm sorry. I should probably take back the fact that I just said she, because they were not doing that in Twitch chats. Fuck that
Mm.
noise.
If God made you a man, you're a man.
You know how these people
Of
are.
course,
So
absolutely,
like
yeah.
a lot of that stuff went down, and thankfully my little social circle, even back in 2012, was just like, wait, is this on a tournament with High Tide? Holy shit. Not oh my god, I can't believe she's calling herself a woman, or feline. I can't believe that you would do all of that work just to call yourself a pussy, or whatever stupid fucking statements people would
Of
make.
course.
Instead, this is what basically all of what you saw on things like Twitter, Twitch. I'm sure it's on Reddit, but my dumb ass ain't
Free
going on there on
magic.
purpose. Like
r/free magic, the absolute cesspool of society.
I have been linked there a couple of times, and I will be very, very glad if it never happens again.
I've gotten death threats
But
from them.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But a lot of that really does extend to just the fact that a lot of women, cis or no, do not have the ability to feel safe in magic environments just because of both who the demographic is anyway and the fact that it's really kind of encouraged behavior. Like, look back again on Star City days where we had people like Todd Stevens and Owen Turtenwald just literally getting away with not only harassing women but having reports of SA full on happening, and nobody is doing anything about these things for years. Like, I went to God knows how many Star Cities. Like, Lindsay, how many tournaments have you seen me at, right?
I mean,
And
we literally went to like every Star City for months from like
straight,
2011 to like, I don't know, 2017 at least.
something like that. Like, I saw you all the freaking time. Like, I feel like I know your kid almost better than my own nieces sometimes. And like, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm like, the kid's great. And
She's good
it's
people.
just crazy to see how long stuff like this goes on when you see the same people week in and week out, and this is just like accepted behavior, and this is definitely not acceptable behavior by any stretch of the imagination, but these people are getting away with stuff like this for so incredibly long. But then you also have the same people going like, oh well, I want a girlfriend who plays magic, but I never see women at magic events. And you fucking
Well, I
wonder
fucking
why.
wonder why.
Right. It's like, well, maybe because you're a creep who encouraged somebody who's doing SA because they're good at a children's card game. Like, are you
Everybody
people
wants a
kidding me?
nerdy goth mommy, but they don't want to do the work.
Right? It's like, ugh, get your shit together, people.
Yeah.
That
No,
should not be
literally
a big ask.
when I go to large events, right? If I would to play at
Yeah.
large events, normally I'm on the sideline doing altars, but
Right.
sometimes I was allowed to play. Sometimes. I would go and set up and have my deck or whatever, and 90% of the time I would be asked, "Oh, did your boyfriend teach you how to play?" Hey, no bitch. I've been playing longer than my boyfriend. Thanks.
Right.
Oh, is that your boyfriend's deck? Oh, did your boyfriend get you those cards? Are you here with your boyfriend if you're
Yeah.
just like by the bathrooms or something? Always. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, no. I've been when I was with not James, but the
The
person
name
before
I did not
James.
mention in the previous conversation for an obvious reason. Yes.
Name before James.
Yes.
I played Magic longer than him.
Yes.
Like
I remember you telling me
I
that,
like
and yeah,
We'll call him Dick
like I played
Cheese
Magic.
for official purposes.
Dick Cheese.
that
Yeah.
works.
Okay,
Dick
yeah.
Cheese
So
works.
I've been playing Magic longer than Dick Cheese. Fuck him.
All right.
And
Yes.
people would still be like, "Oh, did he teach you how to play? Or are you using his deck? Blah blah blah." I'd be like,
Blech.
"No,
Yeah.
no, and no." And I would be better than Dick Cheese if I actually took the time to play and learn good skills instead of just kind of winging it and
Playing
do
Niv-
5-color draft decks. All Niv Mizzet. I put Niv Mizzet. I took out Grizzlebrand in a Reanimator deck, and I put Niv Mizzet and Curiosity in there,
Of course, you did.
and Legacy Reanimator.
Mm-hmm.
And I took it to a competitive, like fucking an SCG,
Mm-hmm.
and I won a couple of games, and people were mad because that wasn't the right deck.
Audio listeners, I have an extremely surprised look on my face.
Audio listeners, he's being sarcastic.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's to the
great.
point
No.
where like the entire internet knows that Niv Mizzet is her staple card.
Yeah, but I actually love doing that. So I primarily am a commander fan. I'm kind of a peasant compared to you two, but I love showing up with a commander that is always built the exact same way. And then I go to play it,
Okay.
and all of a sudden I'm playing Relentless Rats, and they're like, "What the fuck is your deck doing?" And I'm like, "Exactly,
Nice.
exactly. You're not ready
Nice.
for this."
No, I love that.
Who knew? You weren't ready. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
But
the one time that did really good
Lindsay, word's
is
good.
I got I reanimated my Niv and put the curiosity on it, right? And it was
yeah.
Niv it Perun. So if he did a
Oh,
counter spell or he couldn't counter it, but if he did like a brainstorm or something like that, it would have triggered the combo.
death.
So like I put it on there and I put the curiosity on, and then I was like, okay, go. And he just like sits there, doesn't draw, still at the end of my turn, and he's like, so if I cast an instant, I'm like, triggers him, does the combo, you die. And he's like, okay. And if I draw a card, I'm like, yeah, you can draw a card. And he's like, okay. And then if I like play like, like a sorcery or something, like it triggers the thing, and then I do my combo and you die. And he's like, and then if I just don't do anything and pass the turn back, I'm like, then I draw a card, it triggers the combo, and you die. And he's
Yep.
like card, angry card, shuffle, 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 shuffle,
I hate
shuffle,
that.
shuffle, shuffle, shuffle.
Ugh.
I
Angry
love
scoop.
that.
That is my biggest
Yeah.
pet peeve in all of Magic the Gathering. My biggest pet peeve is when you're sitting across that guy that is just staring you down, doing the. It's like,
You think better.
no.
I like to make full eye contact with the. Oh my god! I'm just now seeing your shirt for the first time, and this is
Oh,
great.
hang on.
It says happy birthday.
It says birthday boy.
Yeah, birthday boys.
Yeah.
Jesus, nice. I love that. That's great. But yeah, no, it's just like cool. You can do some random, weird, unorthodox things with your signature card, and like it'll just do the thing sometimes. And okay, fine. If you're gonna sit there and angry shuffle your cards and glare, and I actively love to make full eye contact with those types because it's like you can die mad about it, but also you're going to die to this. So hold your L, or as we used to say before, companion app, sir, sign a slip.
Love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here, just sign. Go ahead, sign a
Although,
slip.
actually, I think,
Yes.
I don't know if they're bringing that back or if it just never fully died, because the last two Magic Cons, all the events that I did, it was sign the slip. We didn't use the companion app.
Oh.
So
No, I have not been to one of those since COVID started. So
they tried
I don't know what to tell ya.
the companion app in Philly. It was an absolute shit show. And then I didn't go to Minneapolis, but in Vegas, it was sign the slip.
Okay.
I never got to use the companion app. I'm still old school with paper.
Well, in
I never
Philly,
got out of the house.
in Philly, I had the companion app
right.
because I had entered a couple events, and through the companion app, I got matched with people in events I wasn't in, and it threw off
Yeah.
the whole event
Oh.
because people were sitting there at the table waiting for their opponent who wasn't even in the event but happened to have the companion app. Yeah. I got matched in two different Pauper events I did not enter.
Ooh.
Nice.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Did you buy a pauper deck and win both tournaments?
No, I wasn't even there yet. I was on the road.
Oh,
when
that's even better. That's even better.
I got a screenshot from somebody that was like, "Hey, are you my opponent?" And I was like, "No."
LOL, I'm like 2 hours away.
Yeah. So yeah,
Haven't been there yet.
I don't know if
Nice.
they got rid of it for every single event, but all the ones I entered in Vegas were piece of paper and a
Okay.
pen. So
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Like,
you can still hit them with the sign the slip.
Nice. No, the last tournament I went to was the RC in Atlanta, and that was all MTG Melee, which was its own other shit show because like the internet just wasn't great. So people had issues with the internet stalling and stuff, and this Melee server just literally being unable to load for a while. But even that tournament didn't have to devolve into paper. And all the other tournaments that I've done before that have been companion so far. But with the way both companion and Melee have been really fucking up, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that we're going back to paper.
I wonder if just for the Magic Con specifically, they don't care as much because it is not a competitive event. Although there are competitive events at Magic Con, Magic Con
Yeah.
is not like the central focus is not come here to compete and win money. So maybe they just
Right.
don't care as much, and they were like, "Nah, fuck it, give them some paper and pen."
Maybe. And
Yeah.
those are generally a lot more lax tournaments because you're not playing at like most of the events at like competitive and definitely not professional REL. So that
Yeah,
makes
for
sense.
sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Competitive events, though, like in general, and bigger events in general, has changed since I have been active on the scene.
Mhm.
It is crazy the difference, and I feel like a magic boomer
I was about to call you a
when
magic
these.
boomer.
I was
I
gonna say
am a
you are.
magic boomer because people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to this con to go play Magic." I'm like, back in my day, I didn't have to pay to get into the venue. I could just go and hang out with my friends.
To be fair,
Yeah.
to
So
be
Lindsay,
fair,
your
they did.
signature card is open to the people playing it.
That's fair.
Oh no.
Yeah. But to be fair to your point though, is
Yes.
at least in Vegas, they did, for lack of a better term given today's date, they did segregate the convention. So when you walked in the door, there was a free play area that was actually very large that you didn't have
Okay.
to go to a checkpoint, you didn't have to have a badge, you could just walk in. But then to get out of the free play area to go to the events, the command zone, or go to any of the vendors, you had to have a paid badge. So they're kind of doing a hybrid
Okay.
model now where it's like you can come and hang out, but you're not going to get to do any of the cool stuff.
Um, I think that's gonna change since I don't know if you've seen the announcement. Star City is actually taking all of the like RC type events and stuff over. I don't know if they're also doing that for MagicCon,
Hmm.
but
Okay.
Star City's policy is just gonna be like you can walk in. So if you're literally just there to like buy cards from vendors, you can just walk in and do that. Like you can just walk in and trade. And obviously you got to pay to enter actual events, but it's not going to be like that where you have to pay for dedicated access to an area versus like just being able to spectate or trade or buy cards or whatever.
Right.
So that'll be a welcome change.
Yeah, I mean it makes
Back,
sense just
back to the past.
from like a purely business perspective. Making someone
Yeah.
pay $180 to then go buy stuff, there's less stuff they're going to be able to buy.
Well, also, I mean,
That
like
too.
in some of the events, you would have to pay for your $180 pass and then pay, you know, $70 to play in the big event.
Yeah,
No, you're
so
right.
they
That's
still, in Vegas and in upcoming Chicago, you still have to pay to do the events. But one thing they did get rid of that was in Philly that just like was so stupid. In Philly, you had to pay to get into the convention. Then you had to
Mhm.
pay to get into the command zone, and you had to pay for the events, and you had to pay even more if you want to get to the command zone VIP, the like Black
That
Lotus
okay.
area. So
The
there
VIP
was
part makes
10
sense for
tiers
me.
of payments. It was so stupid.
No, yes. Agreed on all of those except for the VIP. I am very okay with making people pay for VIP access cuz like what you got out of that was like promos, dedicated seating, a super like small area that was like dedicated to you guys. Nobody else could, I guess, infiltrate that area and ruin the environment for you, whatever. It's only for commander play. Like there's no tournament games going on in that area. You got some special promos and stuff, some of which were relatively unique. So it's like, okay, that one I can justify. But the 10 or so tiers of payment to get there, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if you're spending like $250 just to get access to the room, then how are you going to buy $250 of cards? And
Yeah.
yes, the real answer is that Magic players as a whole are just freaking loaded and it's going to happen anyway. But
Whales,
the
baby.
realistic answer that applies to people who live real lives is just like, that's not a reasonable thing to ask people.
It's not.
So why are we asking that of people?
Yeah.
And
Because like
their answer is pay it, but this is stupid.
yeah, I mean they made hand over fist in Philly, but like Vegas was so much better than Philly because Vegas, the command zone was free, so like
Right.
more people were hanging out, more people were meeting each other. I made a whole bunch of new friends there, played commander, played some
Yeah.
non-commander formats versus Philly. It was literally a small fence between us, and I'm playing commander in the fucking food court area while people are eating chili dogs around me and looking over at
No.
all the people that paid the extra $100 to be able to, play in the command zone. Yeah, it wasn't cheap either.
I'm
It was really
no, no,
expensive.
no, no. I'm definitely going to pause you. Just one real quick tidbit.
Sure.
You went to Philly, the crowned king of food travel cities, and people are eating convention center chili dogs
Yes.
in Philly?
Well, okay, so
Go ahead.
at PAX Unplugged, was in Philly, and I took Doggo to Reading Terminal.
Good. That was
Okay.
a smart play.
Hold
Good.
on,
This is why I
both
like
of
you.
you. Let's put some respect on my genealogy here. I grew up around Philly. I grew up in Camden, New Jersey. So I specifically
Okay, so
know
you know.
better than to eat convention chili dogs.
Okay.
But because of the
Yes.
way they set up the command zone, I was surrounded by people who were eating convention
Yes.
chili dogs. No,
It's
I
okay.
know
Note
better.
that I did
okay?
not say you. I said people. You were surrounded by the people. You were not the people.
I just, for our listeners
like-
at home, I want you all to know I am not culinarily ignorant.
No, like for anybody who hasn't been to Philly before, this is a real description of what you can get as far as food wise around the convention center for Philly. So the convention center happens to be downtown, and it's only a block away from the entrance to literal Chinatown, which hilariously enough, the entrance is on Race Street, which when spelled out spells racist. But anyway, that's not what we're doing here. Across the street from the convention center is also there's a Wawa right there, full service, and next to the Wawa is the place that Lindsay mentioned, the Reading Terminal Market. The Reading Terminal Market is literally a shopping mall for food. You have on any given day between 50 and 75 options for food types that you can buy, and they rotate. You have all kinds of options, including a
rotate?
full service. They rotate. Like, for example, the Amish bakery is not open on weekends because religion.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that makes
okay.
sense.
So the schedule actually does rotate. You don't just see the same ice cream over by the window every single time, even though it's full service and it's delicious. The soul food place in the back isn't always a soul food place, even though you can buy food by the pound and it's great. But like, there's all kinds of crazy options. But that's not even where it stops. You're only like a mile and a half from both Pat's and Gino's, which are across the street from each other. If you're looking for a Philly cheesesteak, these are literally the two most famous places in the world for those. So if you want to drive about 12 minutes and get the best cheesesteak in the world, you have both options across the street from each other. If you are eating chili dogs from a convention center in Philly, know that I wish for your bloodline to end. I will stomp on both of your grandmother's dried ovaries and cuss at her as I look her dog in the eye. I do not want anybody to make these mistakes for themselves.
I respect all of this because I am known on TikTok for having aggressively passionate thoughts on foods. But I gotta ask. Geno's or Pat's?
Yes.
Geno's or Pat's?
It's okay. I'm a Pats fan. And
Okay.
it's not because of the taste difference. It's actually just because I can sit down on the benches and it's a lot more convenient to get the food.
I'm with you on that one.
Like,
Although
the
I
taste
will,
is honestly roughly they taste different, but the quality to me is roughly the same.
I'll probably piss you off with this one. Having
Go
grown
for it.
up in that area and grown up on
Uh-huh.
chili or Philly cheesesteaks,
Yeah.
they're hot diapers, and people need to stop traveling to get them. They're not
This
that
is fine.
good.
This is fine. I
Like,
live in Syracuse and I'm almost sick of getting like salt potatoes and spicy Italian sausages. I understand. When you're
Every-
saturated with something, it just gets old to you.
But every single person I've known from the DMV area that's been like, oh, we got to go up to Philly. Let's get some cheesesteaks. I advise them not to do it. We all end up going. They all get explosive diarrhea. And I tell them, I told you so. Because what is a Philly cheesesteak? It's steakums with cheese whiz put on soggy bread
Yes.
with some onions.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
delicious.
It's
It is
not
delicious,
food.
but
It's
it is
apocalypse
You're
food.
not food.
You are
You are correct.
I don't know. Cheeks are plump, looks kind of delicious. So
Yeah.
like
Always eat the butt
Snack.
first.
yeah.
Fun fact, in a survival setting, always eat the butt first. It's the best meat. It's the most tender.
mean-
It's got some muscle. It's got some fat. If you have to eat
We
another
eat
human,
ass here. That's
if you have to eat
I'm-
another
I'm
human,
down.
eat the butt cheeks. That's the best meat. It's basically steak.
It's basically groceries.
Basically steak.
Yeah. Eat the booty like groceries. Hell yeah.
Understood.
We stand the queen around here. Ah,
Okay.
we got way off topic.
Oh my gosh. I do know what this is completely segued from. I do know about feline long war.
I was gonna say this.
Yeah.
We segued far.
Yes, we have gotten far away from the good old boys club and went to the good old food club.
Yeah.
So
Well, I like food.
food's delicious. But yeah, so we can go back to that. So a lot of people were really, really just kind of like talking a bunch of shit simply about the fact that she happened to be trans rather than focusing on what they actually came for, the Magic the Gathering content, or even going so far as to congratulate somebody on a ridiculously hard task. Because this is not the tournament scene of today, this is 2012. So when we think about events like Star City Opens and Grand Prix that used to exist back then, these are not like the 230 person main events that you're thinking about. We're talking like minimum 800 person tournaments. Like, if you
Oh my
went to a
gosh, yeah.
Star City in 2012 and it only got 800 people, that tournament was a dismal failure. People hated the experience and they actually considered whether it was worth their time going to another one. The tournament scene was that poppin'. I remember one Grand Prix I went to in Jersey. It was Legacy. I don't even fuck with Legacy like that. But I went because it's fun, and Grand Prix back then were amazing. Like, this same one event had, I think, 3 food trucks lined up outside because it's Jersey. So, like, you generally don't
course.
have access to good food unless you already know where to look. So they decided to just go ahead and park 3 full ass food trucks outside of the venue itself instead of making us eat nasty ass convention center food. Actual John Avon was flown in from where is he from? England, and was signing cards, and that got so absurdly lit that his limit was 2 signed cards per person, and the line was still 3 hours long.
Jesus.
These events were absolutely absurd. The main event
Yeah.
had over 4,000 people. And
It
this
was
is just the
insane.
environment we were used to back in the day. This was the norm. This was just like, oh, cool, it's a random ass Saturday. I'm going to go and play Magic with a room full of thousands of people. And that was just a thing you could do every week.
Wow.
And
And the 1,000 of people was the main event people. You had the smaller 5Ks, like the larger side events in air quotes. Those were a minimum of like 400 people for the
easy,
extra events.
Wow.
easy. Like, your random bullshit draft opens, they actually started capping them. I think it was 64 person pods or whatever, because like
Yeah.
these events just got too many people. So they just had to break you up into groups of 64. And
Jesus.
that's just how they were able to like manage these things, because Magic was so absurdly popping that like this was just a they had to cap events at 4,300 people, and people were unable to play.
Wow.
Didn't they do was it a GP or was it an SCG out in Vegas that they had 2
Oh
main events
yeah,
that weekend?
yeah, that was Vegas.
That capped at 4,600.
Yeah,
2 of them.
it,
Full.
both. Yeah, I was gonna say both events capped. Like, Magic was
Crazy.
completely insane, and we have such a different like environment now. But as much as things change, so much of the negative part has really stayed the same.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what really hurts to think about when you go, oh yeah, like Magic's always been a toxic community. Well, I don't want to fucking say that. I love this game. The shit's fun as shit. Like, I've met so many really cool, fun people. Hi. And like, it's gotten to the point where like, I've gotten like some damn near lifelong friends now. Like, I've known people who I've known now, what is this, 2024, for Jesus, about 14 years I've been playing tournament Magic. And like, I've seen like one of my boys, Jamal, I've seen his kid from actual like
I
the
babysitted
week he
the
was
kid.
born. Yeah, like everybody
I
likes Jaden.
babysitted the kid at a Magic event while Jamal was playing. I stayed and hung out in the hotel room with the kid.
We were there. It was the same hotel. Oh my god! So this story. Okay, so so I drove down with Jamal actually for this tournament because we actually both stayed in that hotel room. And
Oh,
this is
okay.
in Atlantic City. Is that the one that you're thinking of?
Sure.
Fair enough.
I don't
So
know.
we get to Atlantic City.
Memory
I
go
love this
burr.
place. Magic players are also hyper degenerate. So we drive down,
sure.
and I have like next to no notice. He messages me on like the Friday morning, like, hey, no, the Thursday morning, like, hey, you want to go to this thing this weekend? I'm just like, whatever,
That
that's
sounds
fine.
right.
Like, so like zero notice, right? And he's like, don't worry about hotel or anything. I got it already. I'm like, you got the whatever, bro. He just does that sometimes. He's a very generous person. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. I obviously, you want company. I want to play Magic. Cool, I'll keep you entertained for the drive there and back. So we get there, and the lady at the front desk is like, oh, hey, Jamal. I'm like, oh, this is what we're doing. Okay. remember that we are in Atlantic City. And she's like, all right, so, how you doing? Oh, no, just this time. Okay. And Jess was on her way. She was like in the car or whatever. And she's like, all right, well, looks over the counter. She like does one of these. She's like physically peering over the counter. And I'm like, what the hell are you looking for, lady? Whatever. Not my business. So she just goes, huh? Where's Jaden? Not where's your son? Where's your kid? Where's your baby? She goes,
Where's your
where's
named child?
Jaden? She knows the kid's name. And that's when I lose it. I start absolutely wilding out laughing because I'm just like, bro, what? And the best part about this story is that this isn't just like a hotel. Oh, no, 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 no. Remember, we're in Atlantic City. This is the fucking Caesar that we are staying in. And it's like
Oh,
super
it
nice,
had the
super posh.
bathtub.
Thank
It
you.
had the
That is what I was going to say
bathtub.
next. The
Yeah.
bathroom in this bitch, I swear to God, is bigger than my entire apartment. Like, the bathroom was actually... See, you're the best. So, like, the bathroom in this thing was actually insane. And it was, like, second from the top floor, an entire freaking penthouse. And I think there were, like, 9 of us or so in the hotel room. Everybody was comfortable because there was that much space in this bitch. And when she realizes that Jaden wasn't going to be there, she goes, oh, okay. So are you going to have the usual room? And that's where this was going to lead up to until you said it. But yeah, so she asked me if he wants the usual room. And I'm just like, this motherfucker has
The
a
fuck's the
usual room
usual
at
room?
the Caesar. Okay, bro, this is what we're doing. And like she said, we get up there and the room is absolutely ridiculous. The usual room has, I'm not kidding, a bathroom that is about as big as my entire ass apartment. This thing was insane. Like, I could have lived in that bathtub, okay? It was crazy. And this is just like a thing that we did every single like week or every other week at most. And this is just like the life that we live, traveling and meeting all of these people and doing all of this crazy degenerate stuff. And honestly, it was a blast. And a lot of it has, of course, like disintegrated in part because of COVID, in part
Yeah.
because of like magic fatigue or whatever other reason you want to give. But like the culture back then was just kind of incredible despite the toxicity. And we just like really, I'm glad to be here directly addressing it, basically, is what I'm getting at. Because like
Yeah.
there is so much potential in this community. And a lot of people are very loud and actively trying to destroy the positive parts of what I love about it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think like you said, it's COVID just it changed the world. It was a literal pandemic. Life will probably never be the same as it was beforehand, but I do see that, I am not a magic boomer like you two. I'm a magic millennial or a magic Gen Z or um I started with Kaldheim and I primarily only play Commander. So yeah, I'm like a baby
Baby.
Magic player. But
Aww.
like, so having not experienced that level of community that you two clearly have, I can see though that we're getting back to that. It's just a very slow process. There's a lot of speed bumps along the way, and a lot of the toxicity that had been overcome beforehand, we're there again. We have to find a way to get over that and get over these people and just let the community be a community. I think part of the problem right now is that, and I've been pretty vocal about this recently. I think the community aspect of the Magic the Gathering community unfortunately shifted from the players to the content creators. And I really think that a lot of the content creators need to make a bigger effort to shift some of that community back, because the feedback that I often get every time I come back from a convention, I get people commenting on my stuff. I get people talking to me, like my followers and, my mutuals and stuff like that. They talk about how they don't feel welcome at these events because it's a big circle jerk for content creators. And I get it. Having been to Vegas, I get it. Vegas was one giant circle jerk for people trying to get into the ambassador program by sucking up to people who were already in the ambassador program. That was the whole weekend.
Right.
And in the moment, it was fun as hell. In the moment, I had one of the greatest weekends of my life. I had so
Question.
much fun. It was great. But then when I got home and I started seeing the comments, and I get it, I get it. Like people were saying like I didn't feel comfortable playing in the command zone. I didn't feel comfortable approaching people. I felt like I was, not welcome, like all this stuff. And it's like when I hear from you two how it used to be and I hear how it is now, it's like there's got to be a way that we can get back there.
No, for
Like
sure.
back
Because
at the end of like Star City events, once people started scrubbing out, right? Normally, fucking normally every fucking time there was always people team drafting.
oh,
Somebody had a
I missed
queue.
those so bad. I missed those
Team
so
drafting
bad.
at the end of the events is just a bunch of people, hey, literally running around the event hall, quick grab whoever. I need one more person on my team. You want to play? It's $20 in or something like that, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
those are
not
great.
$20 in. We were not gambling on the floor. Never ever.
Oh, we fucking were. I mean, she wasn't. We totally were. It is what it is. I took all the white people's money.
Hell yeah.
But like I think a big thing that we're missing out of the community and that is bringing up this toxicity that we have that has, as we have well established, has always been there, is that one, the events are smaller, so those people can be a very loud minority because they're just there to make all the noise. But two, because the events are smaller, most of the interaction in the community now is done via Twitter and Reddit. So you're stuck behind a computer screen and you don't have that accountability because you're just a username. I think that the TikTok community is a little bit better
I
because
agree.
you still get to
Okay.
see that person, right?
Okay.
So like that's how I met Doggo, was on TikTok. But
Mm.
I get to see Doggo and kinda, I mean, it's probably a parasocial relationship, not with Doggo, but like with the other people, more
Yeah, yeah.
parasocial, feel like friends. But still, like you get that
Yeah.
sort of connection and it's not just a screen name and username. Whereas like
Right.
you and I, Andre, we met every weekend and like just
Yeah.
happened to eventually be friends because we saw each other every weekend. Like I don't know when I actually
Right.
met you or like when the friendship started,
Yeah.
but it's just because we saw each other all the time.
I
Yeah.
also
No,
I
that's
also
fair.
one
Like,
one side note, just kind of piggybacking off
mhm.
what you're saying. One of the reasons I love TikTok so much, and it's why it's my primary platform that I talk on, I feel like TikTok calls out the shit a lot more than the other platforms. The other platforms, like
Okay.
I really feel like I see it a lot where a trans individual or a person of color or whatever will be on the defensive from a bunch of shitty comments, and it's them
Yeah.
versus the comments. Whereas on TikTok, if you come after somebody sideways, if you say some transphobic shit, you're getting 27 stitches within the first 5 minutes of people saying that's not going to fly in our community. Fuck off. But like, I
Fair.
don't see that
Question.
on Twitter personally.
Okay. Question, because I'm, well, damn near 40 and don't really use TikTok like that.
Because I'm
Is it
old.
be I mean, it's true. Like, I technically have a TikTok account, and yeah. Anyway,
I see you with your
um
little DDRs.
yeah, I do post the occasional DDR video on there, and that's about it. But anyway, the question was, is that different audience primarily because the average age of a TikTok user is much younger and Gen Z is much less shy about calling people out on their bullshit than we are?
So I would
Could
I
normally
that
mean,
could
agree
that be
with
part of
that.
why?
I would normally agree with that, but I think the
Mhm.
TikTok magic community, it's the same faces you're used to, like age wise.
Okay.
There's not a
Okay.
lot of young creators on TikTok for Magic the Gathering, which is
Oh,
something like
okay.
I've called out a couple times that I wish we could get Gen Z making more content. Actually, small
Hmm.
quick plug, shameless plug here. I'm doing a panel in Chicago, and it's
oh
all
really?
about this. Yeah, it's a few of us
Oh,
are.
okay.
It's me, Chuki Man, Coral Pecan, TK Alice, and Sullivan the Monster. We're doing a panel encouraging people to get on TikTok, make content, join the community, be a part of what's going on there. Because it is, yeah, it's
Okay.
a lot of us. I mean, I'll just say it's a lot of us soggy old white dudes with beards, with the
Fair.
occasional,
Me.
non
Somebody else
soggy white
sprinkled
dude.
in.
Like even there was some drama recently. There's a group of woman creators who do this. I can't remember if it's weekly or bi-weekly, but they do a live stream on TikTok called She EDH, and it's basically they get
Okay.
all the different women of the community and they play EDH, and it's a good time. And people were
Yeah.
coming after them, calling them gatekeepers because they weren't allowing men to play in their little thing. Yeah. But this is where I love TikTok versus like Twitter, is that within minutes we were all at their backs. We were all like, fuck you, that's not gatekeeping.
Good.
You're a piece of shit. You guys keep doing what
Yes.
you're doing. You're doing great work. We were in Discords hyping them up. Like, we kept that going strong because TikTok's just a stronger community. But yeah, it is.
Okay.
I tend to rant and get lost in the point. My original point is, from my perspective, it's a bunch of soggy old white dudes, but we're trying to change that.
Fair enough. I'm
So
glad that
pulling
there's
up my-
active change.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
up what?
insights, I was going to say that I have the 50% of my followers are 25 to 34, but that's almost
Okay.
Gen Z, isn't it?
No, I think
The
that's still
25 is on
millennials.
like the very young end of that, I think. Because like I think millennials now are what, 29 and up, I think?
Is it?
I'm a millennial and I'm
Because that's
31.
1995 now. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh my god.
Oh
I'm
shit.
old.
I'm almost a Z. Fuck.
yeah.
I hate everything. I'm almost Gen X.
Oh, fuck.
I'm
If it
not
makes you
even
feel
joking.
better, James is older than you. If it makes you feel better.
James is a grandpa.
I actually did not know that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. No, I actually didn't know that. Holy shit. I learned something new today. No, I just assumed he was a baby too, and I just kind of shrugged and left it at that.
No, he's not. He's an old man. And he listens to this, so he's going to hear me say that.
Lindsay's sugar daddy.
Hey, if you can't see me on audio right now, James, it's okay. I'm bald too. It is what it is. Does he have hair now?
Yeah, but he shaves it on. He does it by choice.
Last time I saw him,
Okay,
he had a
okay.
buzz cut, but there was definitely hair there.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it does grow. It just, he likes to have it. super
Got it.
short.
Honestly, that's kind of what
I-
I do too. I got like one of those circle shavers, and
Yeah, that's
they
what he's
are
got. Yeah, the
absolutely-
zoop,
they're
zoop.
so good. If you're listening and you're bald, I swear to God, invest in one. Like, it's so good. That whole 90 seconds thing is super real.
that.
We've now gone from
Hashtag not sponsored.
Black people in the community, toxicity in the community, trans people, food, back to some misogyny, bald people haircuts.
Yes,
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
the full circle of the Magic discussion.
But let's end on a real controversy.
Ooh,
Do you
uh-oh.
think Eevee is considered a dog in Pokemon?
Oh,
And do you think any of its evolutions are considered dogs? There's only one correct
as far
answer.
as- I'm gonna go with. I don't consider Eevee a dog, but I definitely consider some of the evolutions dogs. Like Umbreon just is a dog. Flareon looks more like a fox than a dog to me.
They're all foxes.
Jolteon doesn't look. I mean, they're like straight up, just like appearance. Like
You were so close to the correct answer. They're all foxes. So we did
this is fine.
in our first episode, or our like test
Yeah.
episode, we were talking about the Pokemon dogs, and we
Okay.
pulled up a list that listed all the Pokemon dogs, and some of the things on there were just downright ignorant. Like the list called Ninetales a dog. You know, Ninetales, the thing based on the mythological
The
nine-tailed
Kitsune,
fox.
the actual, yeah. The only like the literal Kitsune based animal. Yes,
Yeah. What is your
Yeah.
favorite Pokemon, by the way?
Metacham, not close.
Metachamp. Okay.
Metacham. So background, I used to both take martial arts and breakdance. And Metacham is basically the embodiment
Oh,
of both
okay.
of those things
Well-
in one Pokemon. I absolutely
that
love the
makes
thing.
sense. Okay.
I get
And I
that.
was like, oh
Fine.
look, they made a Pokemon just for me. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm an Arcanine guy myself, with Blastoise as a close second.
Okay,
But I'm a Gen
Sure.
1. I'm a Pokeboomer.
this is fine.
Mine's Houndoom. It's very well known. I have a tattoo, so
I
it is
feel-
what it is.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
I feel like
I think I can show my tattoo. Hang on.
Oh, Lord.
Oh yeah. Okay, yes, I have seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So just
Yeah,
I've,
no,
I've gotten good at showing that in public.
This, and it's not even my like favorite Pokemon or type or anything. I just happen to get it because I'm like, oh look, it's both the water symbol in Pokemon and the blue symbol in Magic. Very easy.
the worst color in Magic.
It is not.
So it's objectively
We
the
are
best color in
definitely-
Magic, but it's why I hate it the most.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might have the wrong audience for that statements.
I'm sorry, but you don't get to play the game. The
It is what it
color is
is.
not very fun. It's just not.
I'm not worried about fun. I'm worried about stomping your dick in.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Like, if I were-
you did not say please. You did not say, excuse me, mom. Excuse me, mommy. Can I play this card? And I'm gonna be like, no, bad boy.
I played against a control deck the other night on a stream, and I was just getting so pissed. It was like, no, you can't sacrifice creatures because of this. No, you can't draw any extra cards because of this. No, you can't do this because of that. Whenever you do that, I get this. By the way, I counter the one thing you actually can do. It's like, fuck, dude, I'm not even playing the game. I'm just sitting here
right.
waiting for you to kill me. Can you just do it?
No,
I sure can.
Hate it.
Oh, yeah,
Hate it.
that's where we're a little bit different. Where like, yeah, since I'm playing spirits, I'm very, very proactive about my no, but it's still a hard hell no and too bad.
Yeah.
It's like no, if
I'll kill you when I'm ready.
fair.
You know, in a couple of turns, we'll get there.
Like a phrase I got to use on Facebook the other day, like literally 2 days ago, I think, was if both players had fun, your deck is bad.
I hate that. I hate that. I really do.
I somehow believe you.
But this
If
is
it
the
helps at
difference.
all, I
Sounds
don't
great.
play Commander because I know that I am like that.
Right.
I'm not going to play anything, honestly, that's less than like competitive REL. So
Yeah.
if you are realistically playing against me, it's because you are also most likely of the same mindset. If you're trying to go, hey, I built this deck and I'm trying to have a good time and shake hands afterwards, I'm probably not your first round opponent.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like this is actually a very popular conversation that happens on TikTok a lot, and the conversation even being a thing bugs the hell out of me, because like it's basically this big argument of how should you play Magic in a way that's fun for XYZ. But the truth is, and this has been my stance from the very beginning, play with the people who think the way you think. If you want to play
Yes.
competitively, play against people who aren't there to have fun. If you want to have fun, grab a couple precons and go play, some commander. Because at the end of the day, it's like the analogy that I always do, right, is that LeBron James is not going to go to a middle school and play a pickup game with a bunch of teenagers, because he will
Jordan-
just demolish them. It won't be fun for him. It won't be fun for them, except maybe because they get to, meet
I
LeBron.
think it would be fun for them.
I think you'd be surprised.
Jordan
how competitive
would have
teenagers get.
absolutely gone to the middle school and demolished them kids with
Yeah.
full eye contact.
And that's why he's
But
the type
he's
of
also
Magic
not a
player
very
that's
fun
awful.
person.
Yeah, he would be an awful Magic player. Like
He definitely
there's
would.
nothing wrong with wanting to play competitively. Go play with other competitive people. There's nothing wrong with
Yes.
wanting to play casually. Go play with other casual people. Don't get mad at competitors like, oh, I hate when you play your blue deck. No. You may not like blue, just don't play with that person. Go play someone else. Like,
Easy.
Easy.
Like, there's a
right?
reason I don't play pre-releases. I don't play Commander because why?
It's too
Why
casual
would I?
for you.
That's not the environment I want to be in. And I actually love that statement that you made. If you just know the environment you want to play in, that means that you're not going to ruin the experience for somebody else. You're not going to make somebody else stop playing the game that you like because you simply want to play it differently. This is completely fine. Same goes for like games like Street Fighter. I'm not going to be playing against like an Alucard or a Sonic Fox. I'm just trying to press some damn buttons when I play as Ken because I like the motherfucker from 1995.
Hell yeah.
But I'm not playing against the best players in the world because I know I'm going to get my teeth kicked in and it's not going to be a fun experience for anybody. If you know the
Okay.
environment you're in, then cool. That's
Yeah.
what you probably should be doing to maximize the fun experience that you have, or at least what you define as fun.
Yeah.
That should be an entire thought right there. That should be a complete statement. But to
I
a lot
love-
of people, it's not, and that's fucking painful.
I love that you used that example, because when I talked about this on TikTok, I basically made the same exact analogy. I just said Smash Brothers. That like,
Oh,
if you play Smash
Hungry
Brothers,
Box, sure.
yeah, if you play Smash Brothers to play as the villager character and throw trees at people, have fun. If you play Smash Brothers and you're doing the little, super teleporty things and nobody can touch you, don't mix
Sure.
those two groups. You need to play
No.
separately. Like,
Yes.
I'm a tree thrower. Actually, I've never played the villager, but I'm a tree thrower.
I'm awful at that.
Yeah.
game.
Right. And I don't even like Smash, but I'm still not going to like, treat the people who are like, hey, I'm in a college dorm room playing with 4 of us. Those people shouldn't be playing against Hungry Box.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't tell him to get good, scrub.
we can still tell them that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. On that note, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Andre, did you have any last sentiments you want to say? Any words of wisdom for the community? Anything you want to plug? This is your minute to rant.
Sure, fair enough. So, honestly, both of y'all, thanks for having me. This has been a super, super fun little conversation that we had today here. Yes, lots of hearts in your general direction. And insert coffee jokes here. They will come again. But anybody who wants to, see what I'm doing, follow me. I am looking to branch out into less competitive content and more general content over the course of the next year. But for now, you can follow me at SpiritSquadMTG on Twitter. And if you are looking for hyper competitive content, well, I have a YouTube channel of the same name. But other than that, I just had an absolute blast hanging out with y'all and talking today.
Yeah, it was great. Great
Yay.
conversation. Iz, did you have anything
Oh,
you
I'm
want to?
glad you feel better from having COVID.
Ugh, thanks. That sucked.
Yeah, that's nice. Iz, did you have anything that you wanted to plug?
No, because I'm rebranding and moving, so I've got nothing right now. I'm dying. Please send me
I forgot to say
coffee.
congrats.
Huh?
I said, I forgot to say congrats the other day when I saw your thing.
Oh yeah, thank you. We're so happy. The house is so cool. I can't wait to like do an inside house tour on like TikTok or YouTube or something because it's like an onion. It's got levels, like a lot of levels. And I have this really big room in the bottom. We call it the church basement because I can't. It's like a tiled floor with like this faux.
Faux.
How do you say it? FAUX
Faux.
faux wood paneling around it, built in the like 60s. It's got a fireplace and a weird vent, and it's like 400 square feet. So it's like a fucking church basement. I can't. It is.
So I'm only calling your house the Church Onion now, or the Onion Church.
But yeah, no. So send coffee and food, and there's a crumble cookie near my house that I'm gonna gain so much weight. It's great.
Fantastic.
Yay.
All right. I have some things to plug, but I'll actually save it for the next episode because I'm still ironing out the details, and we're going to have another episode before MagicCon Chicago anyway. So on that note, thank you everybody who made it all the way to the end. Keep listening. We got more fun episodes coming. We got an episode before this featuring Chukimon. And yeah, welcome to Snarg's House of Sin. It's chaotic. We love it.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace, everybody.